Hello, Percy.
Oh, hello, Gordon.
Are you alright, Percy?
It's the farm trains. They're becoming too much for me to handle.
You sound just like Thomas. But seriously, has his production increased?
It's hard to believe, I know. But yes, it has.
Well, I'll be damned. Does that man get any sleep?
I don't know. But it results in more stuff to transfer, I guess.
And you as a permanent farm engine is not enough?
No, indeed. Even though I'm assigned to those trains, I'm still the smallest engine on the Northwestern Railway's roster. I can't exactly put out the same power as, say, Jeffrey.
I suppose not.
Also, these trains are just becoming boring to pull. I want a change in my workday. Well, if that's the case, maybe you could be reassigned to my branch. We need some extra help with handling the quarry trains. That sounds nice. But who'll handle the farm trains? Maybe Topham can bring on a more powerful engine. Sounds feasible. I'll talk to Topham about it next time I see him. Very well. Hello, sir.
Oh, hello, Percy. What can I do for you?
Well, I want to talk about the farm trains, and whether or not I could maybe get some help with those.
Ah, yes. That's actually also something I've wanted to talk with you about.
Oh, really?
I recently had a meeting with McCall about the future of his services. He said that he was concerned about you, considering that his output is going to increase a lot in the coming years. He recommended that I get a new engine to take the trains instead. I've been considering it, but I didn't know if you were okay with it.
That suits me just fine, sir. I also want to do just a little more stuff than the same tray day in and day out. Thomas also said they could do with some help on his branch.
Well, there you have it. I'll have a look in the index and see what we can do about it. Thank you for letting me know, Percy.
No problem, sir. Goodness, Percy, you do look a bit tired. That's because I am. I had a hot day yesterday. Thankfully, I haven't got a job until later in the day, so I can relax a bit for now.
That's at least something. Do you know if Topham has found anything to take the farm trains?
Not really, no. He hasn't really given any updates thus far.
Do you want me to ask him about it?
If you see him, then yes.
Very well. I'll see what I can do. Oh, sir? Yes, Gordon? Well, I was to ask for Percy if you had any updates on the situation. Well, I do, but it's not really that positive. How? Well, the current index is rather bland in what engines are available. It's basically only industrial tank engines, which might do for a little bit but then struggle later on. I want an engine that's a little bit more long term. Oh, I see. I'll keep looking, but it might be a little bit before I have something to present. I understand, sir. Where's the other engine?
I don't know. It usually doesn't take them this long to arrive. Oi, Nelson, what's going on? The engine for the express turned over when it was coming out the yard. Nothing else can come in or out. Can you take the train to London? You're the only feasible fill-in. You'll have to talk to Topham about that. We already did, and he gave the go-ahead. Well, Gordon, what do you say?
But seriously, come back to London.
Yeah, let's do it.
Alrighty then, give me a moment. Pathetic machine. Way too antique for the modern standards. That's a different whistle.
Hello, Tim.
Oh, Gordon, I was not expecting you here. What are you doing on this train?
Oh, the engine who was to take the train derailed when it was leaving the yard. I was the only suitable replacement.
I see. Well, welcome back to London, Gordon. How long are you staying?
Well, I'm already going back tomorrow.
Well, we'll do our best to have you caught up on all the things that has happened after you left.
Oh, come now. I appreciate the welcome, but you don't have to... Oh, sorry about that.
Eric, how many times do I have to tell you? You have to approach the coaches slowly.
Sorry, Tim.
The more you do it, the less a sorry means.
Oh, lay off him, Tim.
I beg your pardon, Gordon?
I said lay off him.
Gordon, this engine needs to learn.
Let him learn at his own pace. Everybody has to start from somewhere.
Alright, finish your work then.
Very well. Thank you. It's Gordon. The Gordon?
Eric, your work first.
Oh, yes. Sorry. I'll get going right away. Who was that?
That was Eric. He's one of the new engines. He's currently undergoing his shunting trials, but trust me, they're not going that well.
And you think the best way to teach is to act rude when they do something wrong? Do you even compliment him when he does something right?
No, such a thing is not needed. He needs to know how severe his mistakes were so he doesn't do it again.
But don't make it that extreme. This is not something new. I've had many shunting engines do this early on. They just need to practice. Then they'll get it.
Yeah, sure.
What engine type is he?
What, Gordon? I don't know that. If I did, I would be breaking Rule 5 of an linear engine.
The what?
The 5th rule, Gordon. Don't you remember that?
Tim, I left when there were only 4 rules.
I guess. Well, the rule states that one engine should only spend time with locomotives of the same status as oneself. Since Eric is a shunting engine, I'm not to interact with him.
Are you serious?
Yes, it's hard to get the others to understand that, especially Scott. Speak of the devil. Well, I never. Hello, Gordon. It's been a long time since we last saw each other.
Scott, oh what a lovely occurrence. I was hoping to meet you again one day.
Same, dear brother. We have some things to catch up on.
Indeed. Just remember, Eric, no more than 5 miles an hour. Oh, thanks. That's it. Well done. Thanks. You see, Tim? He doesn't need threats. He just needs some advice.
Pfft. Whatever. It's time for me to go. I'll let you two have your reunion.
I don't remember him being this rude.
They've all turned into that, unfortunately. They're rather obnoxious to be around. But I heard how you changed. Sean told me. I am very impressed, Gordon. And to think you had the LMS to thank for that.
I wouldn't quite say it like that, but I get where you're coming from. Sean, you say? Where's he?
If I remember correctly, he is right by the big sheds. Do you want to meet him again?
Very much so.
Then let's go.
Hello everyone, look who showed up.
Well, Gordon, looks like you listened to me.
Well, it wasn't really intentional, but here we are, I guess.
Welcome back, Gordon. Hope you had a good run. How's Henry?
Henry has gotten a lot of care and attention, meaning that he's now performing better than ever.
That's good to hear. A change of pace for him. Speaking of which, we heard about your little incident that resolved in a change in character for you.
Well, it was needed, since I was running wild and breaking the first rule.
Yeah, that's the most important one to follow. Did you also hear about the new 5th rule?
I did. How old is it exactly?
It's not even 2 years old by this point.
And who decided it?
Well, it's an engine that you would likely not get along with.
Who?
Well, look for yourself. Make way for the leader who decides for the engines. Now what do we have here? It's Gordon, the one and only. I've heard about you. You're that engine who breaks LNER practice.
It was for the better.
How dare you speak to me without permission?
How dare you return that with such an attitude?
Well, I never. Just like your brother. You don't even know who to respect and who not to. Shame on you for ruining the LNER.
Ruining the LNER? If you introduce the 5th rule, you're the one who's downright destroying the LNER.
That was for the better. But it seems that you won't understand that. And frankly, I won't get anything out of talking with you for much longer. From now on, just make sure that you get out of my way.
Who was that?
That was Carlin, an engine who's proclaimed himself as the leader, although none of us really voted on that.
I see. And you were right in saying that I wouldn't get along with him.
He hardly gets along with anyone. Those two beside him are practically the only one he talks to.
Maybe it is best if I just, actually stay out of his way.
That would probably be best.
But anyway, is it the 5th rule that has resulted in Eric being left out?
Oh, Eric? Well, yeah, but I have to admit that he's not the best shunter. I've seen many in my time, and a lot of them learn very quickly, but he's taking longer than usual.
I'd say that that's because of what follows from the rule. The fact that he's been excluded from basically any group, while being rudely accused of anything from the other engines. It does wear on an engine and leads to worse performance.
I guess you have a point in that. Do we really want to dwell on that right now? I'm pretty sure we all have the same opinion on it. I say we should retire to our sheds.
Very well. Am I to join you or am I not allowed to?
Ooh, well, I do unfortunately think that you have to follow Scott to the big sheds.
Bother.
I know, Gordon, but based on my experience, as long as you don't say anything, you can get through the night.
Makes sense. Let's just get over with it.
Very well. Follow me.
Good night, everyone.
Good night. It's funny, Gordon. I thought you would join the C1s and that other Pacific in their sheds. I think you would better fit there. Clever. You follow your brother. How very cute. But I don't really care about your brother. You need to understand that I've never met you before. Only heard of you. So I'm very interested in what's going on inside your smoke box.
If you've heard of me, I think you know enough.
No, I always need confirmation on information I've been given from others.
Then I suppose you wouldn't believe what I would say then?
Well, never mind.
I'm sorry, but what shed am I supposed to stay in?
Well, I never. Eric, you're not allowed to be here. Get out of here fast.
But I don't know where to go.
Just the fact that you even thought about coming here is beyond decent. Get out.
But where?
Get out. Good riddance. That engine never lands. What?
Well, I've officially lost it. I refuse to spend more time with you.
Now, Gordon, what's the matter?
You know exactly what's wrong.
Gordon, I've already told you that that's the best way.
Then I don't need to be here, do I?
Whatever, it's your loss. Isn't your brother just weird? Now, come on, Scott. You seriously don't agree with your brother? I do, and I don't need to say more.
Eric? Nobody wants me. I'm stuck in a place where I don't want to be, with engines that I don't want to be around. You know, Eric, I think it would help you if you were reassigned to somewhere else. Another big yard, perhaps. Doncaster is a good place. I've tried. Several times. I've asked my manager about it, but it hasn't gone anywhere. I don't like London, and I don't really like shunting anymore. I want to see the countryside, and I want to pull my own trains.
I'll keep looking, but it might be a little bit before I have something to present.
You know, Eric, maybe there is some hope. What do you mean? Well, the place where I live... The island of Sodor? Yes. As it happens, we're in search of a bigger engine to pull our farm trains. Our current one is struggling with the current load, given that he's quite a bit smaller than you. Okay. What are you getting at? Well, the trains run by the open countryside. Yes? And as the permanent farm engine, one can have those trains all for themselves. Oh, I see where you're getting at. You think I would be a good replacement? I think you match pretty well with what Topham's looking for. But would it be possible? I think so. We've actually had a similar situation with our station pilot at Knapford. Topham is a wise man when it comes to negotiating, and to me, it seems like the LNER doesn't really want you, so it would be easier for them to sell you to Topham. Well, that would be marvelous. Thank you, Gordon. You're welcome. Now, since those vans are loaded, you want to stop slightly before you would normally want, since there's a need for more distance to make them stop. Oh, right. Thank you. Very good, Eric. Thanks, Gordon. No problem. What do you want?
I want to know what's wrong with you.
What do you mean?
How come you don't understand what it's like to be an LNER engine?
Well, my dear engine, that's also what I want to ask you about.
I asked you first. You answer first.
Well, if you define wrong as in not understanding your whole operation of, quote, how to run the LNER, then there's nothing wrong with me. I think it's better to ask why you deserve to be the leader of the LNER engines.
It was just too obvious to be questioned. No vote was needed.
No vote was going to be given to you. No one would. Now, I'll shortly be leaving with my train back to Sodor, so if you want to say goodbye, then it's too late.
Oh, goodbye indeed. You're banished from the system.
You don't have a say in that. The board of directors do.
Gordon, are you alright?
This isn't the LNER. It's not how it should be.
What do you mean?
All engines should be equally respected and equally treated. Why did it have to develop into this mess of a system? Why did I have to pave way for that?
Pave way?
I was the one who started the horrible attitude. I passed it on to others, and even though I've improved from that, it's not many others who have. It's all my fault.
Don't blame yourself for the whole ordeal. Trust me, I've been around for a long time, and such attitude and behavior has existed for a long time, way before you were built. Granted, one could say that it wasn't as bad back then, but the point still stands.
I guess.
You also realize that while the engines are to be improved upon, the operations are definitely better than when we were built. You've helped shape the system into something better. Heck, many engines respect you for what you've done not just for the LNER, but the UK as a whole.
I guess you could look at it that way. Thank you, Scott. Thank you everyone for making this trip not completely horrible.
Oh good. I thought it was too late.
That's alright. Now remember, Eric, there's a lot of potential in you. Do not let the other engines discourage you. Those big engines don't even know how to shunt. If you just do things the way you want to, then you'll be fine.
Thank you, Gordon. Thank you for helping me.
You deserved it. And a promise is a promise. I'll bring it up for Topham, and we'll see what he can do about it.
Very well.
Oh, that's my cue. Goodbye, everyone. I hope to see you again someday.
See you, Gordon.
I say, welcome back, Gordon. Now that must have been quite a trip. Going back to your hometown, eh, Gordon? I expected you enjoyed yourself, didn't you? No, sir, I didn't. Why ever not? You've longed for a long time to return. It must have been exciting to see the big city again. London's all wrong, sir. A lot has changed. It's not the same as when I left. I see. Well, I hope you met some of your former colleagues. That I did. I was able to reunite with them, but a lot of the other engines were just, well, an incarnation of my former self. Maybe London wasn't a good idea after all. Well, there was one more good thing I got out of the trip. Oh, what would that be? Well, I met this engine. His name is Eric. He's a new engine and is thus undergoing his shunting trials. And while he's perhaps not that experienced, he's a jolly chap with many dreams and desires of his future. Unfortunately, the current system is holding him back from achieving them. Oh dear. Say, what engine type is Eric? He's an LNER V1 Prairie Tank engine. Ooh, now that's interesting. Such an engine would have been a good fit for the farm trains. You said he had some dreams and desires. What would they be? Well, he wants to get out of the yard to the open countryside. And he wants to pull trains of his very own. And you said he wasn't allowed that by the LNER. No, he wasn't. Ah, I get it now. Sir, say no more, Gordon. I know exactly what you want me to do. I'll get right to it.
Morning, Bard. Morning, Terry. You got the papers? I did, and I think it would be of certain interest to you. How so? Well, take a look. Oh, damn.
What?
Brace yourself, Gordon. You won't like this.
What?
What does it say?
London train arrested after wreaking havoc. Early this morning, LNER P1 number 2393 named Carlin had a rage fit, which led him to causing major damage, including derailing 3 shunters, destroying 6 empty coaches, and running a truck into a signal box. Injuries include 4 crew members and 7 yard workers. Carlin was quickly arrested, and his current location is unknown. Investigations are ongoing.
Okay. That's scary.
That Carlin.
That Carlin.
No vote was indeed it, yeah, right.
And to take his anger out on those shunters. I mean, those that just shouldn't go through that. What?
Eric.
Eric?
That shunter I met at London.
Oh.
Oh no. Hello, Gordon. Eric? No need to rub your eyes, Gordon. I'm very much here. But, wait, so you weren't involved in that? Not directly, no. But I may or may not be the reason for the whole thing. How so? Well, to put it short, I left the yard, and Carlin had his rage fit because of that. Because you left the yard? Yes. Aye, that engine was no good. But why are you here? Why did you leave the yard? Well, it seems you kept your promise. No way. Yes, Gordon, it seems my luck remains intact. Engines, this is Eric, our new farm engine. Eric, this is Toby, our very first engine. This is Percy, our now former farm engine. And this? Well, you already know who this is. Yes, sir. Hello, you two. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you, Eric. Hope you're ready for some farm stuff.
I am indeed. I can't believe it worked out. Well, you were right in what you said. Also, Carlin isn't in charge anymore. Well, obviously not. But who took his place then? Well, Scott managed to scoop up that position. You're kidding. Nope. With overwhelming support, Scott now has the leader role, which I think will be wonderful for the railway. Indeed. And you now get to fulfill your dreams. I say, well done, sir. You make it look so easy. Well, I may know a thing or two, but they had no problem selling Eric to me. It wasn't even a bad price. Well, that just tops it, sir. I guess the trip was a success after all. But from now on, Gordon is not going foreign anytime soon.